Between Love and Jokes. The Silent Power of Storms by Jamie Dornan and Amelia Warner. London, early autumn. Rain has been falling for days, covering the city in a hazy silver. Inside a quiet townhouse in Notting Hill, Jamie Dornan sits by the window, his phone screen hazy with another notification from the outside world, speculation, breaking news, whispers. He sighs, sets the phone face down, and returns to his cold cup of coffee. In another room, Amelia Warner hums softly, practicing a few notes on the piano, her melody matching the rhythm of the rain. It's been almost a decade since Jamie and Amelia vowed to be together forever, and yet in the past few years, hardly a day has passed without scrutiny. Fame has a way of turning love into a stage, and their marriage, though built on a foundation of quiet tenderness, was often caught in the whirlpool of Hollywood gossip. But while others opted for statements and interviews, Jamie and Amelia opted for something rarer: silence. Silence doesn't mean weakness, Amelia once told a close friend. It just means we know who we are, and we don't owe anyone proof. The Storm That Won't Break. When 50 Shades of Grey came out, it wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural earthquake. Overnight, Jamie Dornan went from a respected actor and devoted father to the most watched man in the world. Every look, every co-star, every subtle gesture between him and Dakota Johnson on screen provoked speculation. And though Jamie herself considered the project a work of art, intense, intimate, but ultimately fictional, the world couldn't separate Christian Grey from the man who'd kissed his wife goodbye in London. At first, Amelia smiled. She understood Hollywood. She'd been there, long before motherhood and writing became her refuge. But over time, the noise became unbearable. The tabloids dissected her smile, her red carpet absences, her social media silence. Headlines read, "Where's Amelia?" or "Jamie's wife refuses to appear by his side." Every time she saw her name printed below another photo of Jamie and Dakota, Amelia quietly folded the page and threw it in the trash. Not out of anger, just out of exhaustion. "I know the difference between fiction and reality," she once told a friend. But sometimes the world doesn't care about that difference. A marriage behind closed doors. Those who know them well describe the Dornan-Warner household as warm, simple, and down-to-earth, almost unthreatening. There are no guards at the gate, no staff rushing through the hallways. Their children play barefoot in the backyard, Jamie often cooks dinner, and Amelia writes lullabies instead of love songs. "They're not the kind of couple who have anything to prove," says a longtime friend. "They just live." But the storm outside always finds a way to creep in. When Jamie goes on a business trip for months at a time, the internet is awash with theories. When Amelia is absent from the public eye, outsiders see it as trouble. Every action, or lack of action, becomes evidence in a trial no one asked for. Jamie once said in a rare interview, "People think they know what's going on in your house because they see you pretending to love someone else on screen. The truth is, acting is just pretending. What really happens when the cameras are off?" And that truth, in their case, is often found in the smallest things: breakfast together, picking up the kids from school, handwritten notes stuffed into suitcases before long flights. Amelia doesn't post them online. Jamie doesn't brag, but those who have witnessed it call it quiet devotion. The Dakota story. No story about Jamie Dornan's storm would be complete without Dakota Johnson. Their on-screen chemistry is undeniable, powerful, explosive, and close enough to make you believe it's real. For years, tabloids have nurtured that belief. Every interview is analyzed, every smile is replayed in slow motion. "Are they more than co-stars?" has become a timeless headline. But Jamie always speaks with respect. "Dakota is one of the most honest and courageous people I've ever worked with. We trust each other because we have to, the role demands it. But when the workday is over, we go home to our own lives." What's less noticed is Amelia's quiet confidence in that boundary. She doesn't control his work. She doesn't compete with his on-screen image. Her silence was strong, it was powerful. She understood what many people didn't. Faith doesn't scream, it breathes. But the human heart is fragile. There were nights when Amelia felt the weight of it on her shoulders, not because she doubted Jamie, but because she couldn't control the noise around her. You can put all your faith in this world, she once asserted, and still feel the pain of being misunderstood. Choosing family over fame. In 2023, when rumors of their split began circulating online, the couple didn't publicly deny it. They didn't post pictures together, didn't issue a press release. Instead, they were spotted together in Belfast, walking with their daughters, eating ice cream, and laughing. The photos, snapped quietly by a passerby, said it all. Jamie later told The Times, "I've never been good at living in the headlines. My family doesn't belong to that world. Work is my work, home is my home." Friends say it was a turning point. Amelia stopped reading tabloids altogether. Jamie cut back on press trips, choosing instead to spend more time in the countryside. They built their walls not with secrecy, but with peace. There's a misconception that silence means something is wrong, Amelia shared in an interview about her music. Sometimes silence means we're finally okay. Another love story. If Hollywood is famous for its flashy displays, Jamie and Amelia's story is one of quiet rebellion. Their love is quiet, and their gestures are rarely reported. But behind the scenes, their relationship is a partnership built on mutual protection. Jamie has said more than once that Amelia saved him, soothing him when fame threatened to distort his self-image. "She doesn't let me fly too high," he says with a grin. "She knows how to bring me back down to earth." For her part, Amelia often calls Jamie her home beat, the steady rhythm she writes for. Her songs, while rarely narrative, still whisper words about him: patience, humor, and perseverance. They're not perfect, no couple is. They argue, they misunderstand, and they learn. But what sets them apart is the silence that heals. They heal quietly, away from the flashbulbs. Amelia once said, "If you love someone long enough, you learn that forgiveness isn't a moment. It's a process." Lessons from the storm. As the years pass, the rumors die down, replaced by new storms with new names. But Jamie and Amelia's enduring relationship remains a quiet testament to resilience. A close friend described it best. "They don't overcome fame by ignoring it, they overcome it by redefining it. For them, fame is noise, but family is melody." Now, Jamie divides her time carefully, a few projects a year, balanced with regular time. He takes his children to school, tends the garden, and spends afternoons learning piano chords with Amelia. When asked about the secret to longevity, he smiles. "Maybe it's realizing that not every aspect of your life needs to be seen. The world needs a show. My wife needs her man." And Amelia, always calm, sympathizes with him in her own way. There's a difference between being loved by millions and being truly understood by one person. I am grateful for the latter. Rainy night. There's a story, probably apocryphal, that Jamie came home one night in the pouring rain, drenched after a photo shoot. Amelia met him at the door, towel in hand, a beaming smile on her face. He looked exhausted, his eyes blurred by the chaos of the day, but when he saw her, the storm on his face dissipated. That night, they didn't talk about the rumors. They didn't talk about Dakota, or her fans, or the latest tabloid headlines. They talked about normal things: dinner, homework, the song Amelia was writing. Before she went to bed, she played it for him, a soft melody, no chorus, just a rhythm that echoed like ocean waves. "What's that song called?" he asked. She smiled. "It doesn't have a name yet. Maybe, Weathering." Jamie nodded. "That would be perfect. The art of staying." In a world where relationships rise and fall faster than the news cycle, Jamie and Amelia's persistence is almost groundbreaking. They remind us that staying is an art, not static, not stagnant, but intentional. Their story is not about scandal or survival. It's about two people who, every day, choose silence. Walking hand in hand through a world that demands spectacle but instead whispers that we're okay. Their silence isn't empty. It's filled with laughter no microphone can catch, eyes no camera can catch, forgiveness no journalist can quote. And in that silence, amid the storms, rumors, and noise, they continue to build a home that's all theirs. Present tense. Today, Jamie Dornan is back on screen, a new TV series, far removed from the erotic heat of his early fame. Amelia is releasing new music, largely inspired by motherhood and quiet moments. The tabloids have moved on to newer scandals, but the couple remains where they are, together, steady, at peace. A journalist once asked Jamie if he still reads what people write about him. He smiled softly. Sometimes. Most of the time, I only read Amelia's books. It's the only version that makes sense. Last words, after the rain. The rain in London has stopped. The streets sparkle like polished mirrors, reflecting the soft light of a new morning. Inside the Dornan house, the smell of coffee is stronger than before. Amelia sits by the window, the piano still humming softly. Jamie stepped in, kissed her temple, and for a moment, brief but endless, the world fell silent. Outside, the headlines continued to blare. Name after name. But in this room, love existed in the present tense, not because it was loud, but because it was persistent. And sometimes, persistence is the most romantic thing. Note, this is a fictional, literary article, inspired by real people, written for storytelling purposes. It does not claim the accuracy of any real person.